I can just see a lot of Democrat lawyers having a field day with this.
They will. Well, they're in a.
I've already learned one of their tactics is called dilatory tactics. I'll look it up. I did. That's just simply like with the voter fraud. You can stall these cases for years. By the time you get around to, like Obama's voter fraud, he'll be dead before it ever goes to court.
Yes.
And these people with these the birth certificate, I tell them forget it. It'll never happen. Doesn't matter if he's got one or not. He's president now. He's going to stay president. You can take it to court. You can fight it for how long? 1, 2 decades? Why bother? They'll do that. And so when we go to tort reform, if you try to change it like that, well, you're obviously know this business a lot more than I do.
Well, this is what I would say. I mean, dilatory tactics, which just means delaying the lawsuit.
Yes, ma'am.
To the detriment of your opponent. Bad, wrong. Okay, it's bad and wrong.
It's quite popular.
But may I say, both sides do it. Both sides are guilty, and that's why what is needed is to empower the judges to eradicate that kind of thing. But I don't see state legislatures making a blanket law about it. I really don't, Pokey. When the judges have to decide it on a case-by-case basis. Because what I don't like about a blanket law is that it doesn't allow the courts to do what they're supposed to do. The courts are supposed to make decisions on an individual case basis. We need somewhere in government where if somebody really is harmed, they can go to court.
Understand how that's a subject that's kind of way over Pokey's head. I mean, but I do know, like driving a dump truck, we were liable to be, if anything happened, they find out you got $1 million insurance, they fall down. Oh, bang outside the truck. Oh, and fall down.
Well, what there's.
And so I have to up my cost of doing business because I have to have this high dollar law insurance, liability insurance, because all that person has to do is literally walk out in the street, bang hard on my truck, and fall down. And a Democrat trial lawyer is going to sue the you-know-what out of me.
The solution to that, though, is to empower the judges to throw those cases out.
But if it's a Democrat judge...
That's solution number one. Solution two is that I advocate a new law in Texas that makes it a tort to file a frivolous lawsuit. Okay, I without getting too overly legalistic.
Complicated for me here. Yeah, you got to put a pretty elementary language for me to.
Well, other states have it, so that if you do something like that, you can sue that person for creating a frivolous lawsuit against you. Right, and there needs to be a statute for that. It exists in other states. It should happen and I prefer procedural rules for the judges, and I prefer a vexatious suit statute. It's called. I prefer that method of controlling frivolous lawsuits instead of damage caps. A blanket solution.
Well, okay. Well, I know that'll be a state issue.
It is a state issue.
And I do blame the decline in the industry on labor unions. We are a right-to-work state. We're not going to stay that way, right?
Yes.
And lawsuits.
That's right.
I like Texas that we're a right-to-work state.
That's right.
And we have started to fight lawyers. Our doctors are coming here in large numbers.
Yes.
I don't quite understand why or how it works, but I know it's working.
Yes.
I asked my dentist. He says, "Well, dentists don't usually kill people. I mean, the biggest ones are baby doctors, the ones that deliver babies. You know what
obstetricians. Yeah.
They got the highest rates because that's where I guess things can go wrong, brain surgery and stuff like that.
Yes. So as more and more minorities found new businesses, we're getting more and more conservative minorities like conservative Hispanics to join CHS and other organizations. There are several actually, conservative and Republican Hispanic organizations.
There's a lot of Hispanic business owners out there. Dump trucks, most all of them are Hispanic. Bricklayers, electricians, carpenters.
Yes.
All this kind of, as she says, they'll be out there working 7, 8 o'clock at night, get the job done.
And
that's half the reason why they're always working all the time. That's right.
Yeah,
that's-
those are the people that are
It's admirable.
creating businesses, and
That's
those
right.
are the people that
That's
are
right.
creating legitimate businesses whose energies are being sapped by high business taxes and sales taxes and property taxes where they have businesses, and those are the businesses that are being sapped in order to pay for the subsidies that are where politicians are picking and choosing winners and losers,
That's the
losers that
formula.
they're going to
That's
transfer
right.
these monies to.
That's right.
And we have to understand that the tax money came out of those existing businesses.
So how do we convince Hispanic businessmen to join Veronica, and it'll be good for business?
Well, first thing first is we got to get in there and talk to these owners. And sometimes you'll find, though, surprisingly, that they maybe do vote Republican.
That's right.
That's
We usually get 30 to 35%.
right. I mean, the same amount of people or Hispanics that voted for Bush actually turned around and voted for Obama. For whatever reason that, because you would think that they voted for a Republican, that they would vote McCain or the independent as opposed to voting for Obama. But the thing is, we have to actually just get in there and educate the voters. We gotta, we need to get people who are willing to get involved with campaigns like Maryland's, Mary Lou's, Donna Campbell's,
Sure.
Pat McGinnis, Don Neal. If we know anybody that speaks the language, who is willing to be the foot soldier and get into those neighborhoods and those construction sites and the businesses and face to face with these Hispanics, face to face goes a long way
That's right.
more than an impersonal call
Like
or
was said at the meeting.
right. And we're very face to face people. I mean, I prefer that somebody come up to me and speak to me directly rather than, oh, do you have about 5 minutes on the phone so
That's
that we
right.
can talk and discuss politics, which
Exactly.
you can never have a discussion on the phone about politics.
One thing I could brag about, I can brag about this for the Republican candidates. The Republican candidates will tell you where they stand. They will
That's right.
say, I'm in favor of limited government. I'm in favor of lower taxes. I'm in favor of letting those monies stay with the businesses. The
right.
Republicans will tell you that. And all of the candidates that you just mentioned,
That's right.
Marilyn Jackson, Dan Neal, Pat McGinnis, Donna Campbell, all of those candidates will say that. What I could criticize the Democrats for, they never say, I'm in favor of higher taxes. I want to take more money out of the small businesses.
That's what they're
I
going to
want
do.
wanna expand government.
I want to expand government. I want to make big government. I want more money for politicians so politicians can make these mistakes. They never say that. They never say that.
That's right.
Well, I think that's a very coward party.
Yep.
I think they are very much cowardly party. I mean, they like to hide behind their desks. They like to hide behind their little
And blame Republicans for
2,700
everything.
They
page.
blame
Yeah.
they blame the Republicans.
Right. Well, yeah.